Hello, Russell Dawn, President of Concordia University Chicago. Thank you for tuning in to today's Cougar Athletics broadcast. We take great pride in the strength of both our athletic and academic programs, which are rooted in our steadfast commitment to Jesus Christ. Dedicated to the liberal arts as a foundation of a high-quality college degree, we believe education should form individuals for service to their neighbors. This makes Concordia Chicago an exciting and fulfilling place to study, work, learn, and grow. Learn more today by visiting cuchicago.edu. Thank you, and go Cougars!
Hello, Cougar Nation, and welcome to River Forest here at Concordia, Chicago for some action. It's the conference opener. Concordia, Chicago taking on the visiting Rockford University Regents to get conference play started as the Cougars come back home from a road trip where the Cougars picked up their first draw of the season and their first goal, a 1-1 tie against Beloit on September 7th. They're on a 2-game losing streak, consecutive losses to St. Mary's College and Kalamazoo. Over on Rockford's side, they picked up their first win back on September 12th, a couple days ago, taking down Maranatha Baptist 4-0. So they come into this game looking to start up a little bit of a winning streak against the Cougars here as we get ready to go with some action as these two teams head out onto the field. We'll read off those starters for Rockford first. Starting in goal for the Regents is number 26, Lily Rose. Elsewhere on the roster, number 2, Sophia McLaughlin. Number 9, Daisy Martinez. Number 10, Lucy Mapandino. Number 11, Elise Lundine. Number 14, Ariana Moreno. Number 15, Darlena Flores. Number 16, Courtney Murphy. Number 17, Jasmine Pinedo. And number 18, Donna Whiteside. Over on the Cougars end, in goal, it's number 00, Brooke Sheriff. Alongside number 4, Mia Hirayama. Number 6, Lorenzo Mendoza. Number 9, Reagan Espinoza. Number 11, Alexa Martinez. Number 12, Erica Flores. And number 16, Sofia Cazares. Number 23, Angelina Moreno. Number 24, Elle Wheelock. Number 26, Presley Alvarado. And number 32, Julia Urbanchek. As these teams get ready to go, it will be Rockford, I believe, starting off with the ball as they head out there. And we are ready to get underway here on the Cougar Sports Network. It's Cougs versus Regents here in River Forest as Sophia McLaughlin gets us going, passes back to her midfield. And the Cougars run to challenge immediately, and we'll get our first foul tagged of the day on Sofia Cazares. I'm Jonathan Shear on the Cougar Sports Network here with Alfredo Jaramillo Ruiz. Thank you for tuning in to today's matchup as Rockford gets ready to kick this one away on the free kick.
Yeah, like you said, Jonathan, they've come from a loss, but it's not as bad of a loss as the previous matches. It's a 2-0 against Kalamazoo. When it comes to Rockford, they actually come from a win, which is very positive for them because they hadn't won at all or tied. They've had a really rough start to their season. So a 4-0 win from there.
Hirayama down the left side. Here's Moreno into the box. Moreno crossing over to the far side. And Martinez will have to reset it. Pass it back to the sideline. That'll get booted up to the top of the box. Cazares tries to bring it down, and that'll roll all the way to Rose. So back to what you were saying, Alfredo.
Yeah, a 4-0 win is definitely a positive for Rockford, and they seem to be very motivated going into this game. So we'll see what they can show on the field.
That'll get punted downfield. Cazares will take possession. She'll work it to the far sideline. Martinez carrying into the corner, cuts back to the top. Cazares trying to give it and go it. And that will be sent straight into Rose, who picks it out of the air again, and she'll punt it off. And Alfredo, you look at these results for Rockford, you look at the results for Concordia. Rockford, they have struggled a lot this year. They've had some very tough losses against familiar opponents that the Cougars have also faced this year. A common thread is that both these teams have struggled to work the ball on offense. They've struggled to work into the box, get shots off. The Cougars, that's been slowly improving, still not where Coach Garza would want it to be. Over on Rockford's end, it's still not where they want it to be either.
Yeah, for the first game of the season, Rockford thought it was going to be a little bit more positive. They lost only 2-1, so they actually did score. But then in the next few games, it was a 10-0 loss, 7-0 loss, 8-0 loss. It's nothing that you ever want to have in a team, especially for morale. But when it comes to the Cougars, the problem with scoring has been a thing that's been constantly going on, and the only game in which they did score was against Belliot, which was an equalizer, and that's the only kind of positive aspect of this season that they really have.
Cazares turns that into the box. Moreno tracking it down. Can't get a clean touch on it. She's going to have to turn it out. Plays that to Hirayama, tries to rip a long one, it's on the ground. Rose picks it up and falls on it. And the Cougars providing some offensive pressure early here through the first 3 minutes. That's going to be headed straight back by Burnap. Moreno trying to send it through to Martinez. It's a bit behind her. They'll have to track back. Now get sent over to the sideline. McLaughlin trying to get it past midfield. She'll get it past midfield, still carrying it towards the corner, working on Mendoza. She tries to play central. And Martinez can't get there. It's up in the air. It's over to McLaughlin, trying to apply pressure on Mendoza, and Mendoza able to clear it back the other way. Rockford's still holding possession, but they're going to have to work it back downfield. Here's Moreno trying to get over to Flores. Flores has it taken away by Espinoza. Espinoza looking middle, sending the long ball through towards Flores. Erica Flores into the box, one-on-one with the keeper, and it's saved by Lily Rose. A nice run out from the keep to deflect it out of bounds, and it'll be a corner kick for the Cougs.
I will say that this team looks a lot more confident. They get on the ball, they pass it a lot better than in the first few games. You really see the work starting to really pay off. They just need that last thing that they've been missing all season, which is the goal.
Casares puts it up. Gets all the way to the top of the box, and it's going to get chipped up in the air. Moreno will take possession out of the box on the corner, tries to work in. Working central now, rips one, and it's wide left of the post. That'll be a goal kick. And they're creating opportunities so far early on, yet to capitalize on one. But a positive sign for the Cougars' chances today. That goal kick can get over the far side. Mendoza will take control. Give and go. Mendoza trying to get to Martinez. Whistle blown. That'll get tagged on Lorenzo Mendoza. That'll be a free kick for Rockford and get sent the other way. And you look at those NAC preseason predictions. Cougars projected middle of the pack right at 7, right around there. A couple other teams in that area. So the Cougars projected to be decent this year in conference play. Rockford, a resounding bottom of the conference prediction for this squad. As here's Moreno turning in central, trying to work it to the net, cleared away by Pinedo. Rockford, majority of their votes received for last place in the conference, as they will clear this one out. Martinez cuts and sends it up central, but Burnap will take it away. Cougars reset. Erica Flores into the corner. Flores bends that in. Rose falls on it. Been under a lot of pressure so far. Hasn't buckled yet. And
It's a great start for the game. The Cougars are really showing that they're the team that wants to go forward. One positive aspect, another positive aspect that I've seen is that Belliot College actually beat Rockford 3-0 2 games ago, and the Cougars actually tied. So if that's any positive for them, I mean that could probably get influence into their mental game. Line to McLaughlin. McLaughlin working towards some space in the corner. She's taken it to the corner. Now she tries to cut in. It's a long touch. Easily taken away by Flores and the Cougars. Now Casares cutting back middle. A lot of space for her. She tries to get that through to Mendoza. And there's a lot of space for Mendoza now. Mendoza down to the corner to Martinez. And she's able to get there, able to cross it in. It's down, and Moreno can't get enough power on it. It's low and picked up by Rose. within the first couple of minutes, that's about the fourth chance that they've had, and that's a very good thing because it really shows the work that Coach Eddie Garza has been putting in the past few games.
Martinez looking central to McLaughlin. Rockford struggling to get out of this little corner they've got themselves in. They'll try to break up the triangle passing drill by passing back through their defense. Pinedo looking upfield. Cougars able to cause some chaos. That'll get down, but it's still loose. Rockford still has it on their own defensive third. Martinez trying to keep possession. Now she has a little bit of space to try and create a pass. And that's a long touch from Martinez, taken away by Casares. Cougars, they'll take possession. They'll try and push the pace the other way. Hirayama looking to the right, gets it to Martinez. Martinez cutting up towards the corner, bends it in, and it's over the goal and outside of the goal. Erica Flores can't connect, and it stays scoreless. And Alfredo, there's been a couple opportunities today. The Cougars have had clear scoring opportunities, just haven't been able to get it on frame.
Yeah, not a great contact by Erica Flores there, but she has been doing a lot more. She's been one of the players that we've mentioned a bit more throughout the game. She's not scared of taking on players and attempting new things on the field.
Burnett, central. Sends it over to Mendoza, upfield to Martinez. And Rockford's going to fight it away. I mean, you look at that ability to get a shot on frame. That's not a unique struggle for this Cougars team, as Erica Flores is going to try and bend that one in. And she's able to keep it in and able to keep possession into the box. And there's a low shot to the line by Martinez, and that will be picked up by Rose. But struggling to get shots on frame, it's not a unique struggle at this level, that D3 level of soccer. A lot of players struggle to consistently put hard quality shots on frame. What has been unique about the Cougars' struggles, and it's not the only team, but it's more unique than that, Rockford has it, volume, getting it in the net, putting up a lot of shots so that it might be inconsistent, but, you know, once every 5 shots, you'll get a good shot on frame. That's what the Cougars are looking for. They haven't been able to create the volume for that to work out, to create goals. Today, so far, what it's tracking on against Rockford is they're able to create volume. They're able to push into the box. They're able to start putting up shots. So with volume will eventually, you have to hope, come a shot on frame. That's what Garza's hoping for with his squad. That's what this offense is hoping for. And that's what most teams hope for when they run their offense. You push up volume, eventually you're going to get a shot on frame. This is a Cougars team that is very much in control of the pace of play right now, as these two teams will get a break. We have a player down on the field for the Regents. But, yeah, the Cougars very much in control of the pace of play right now, very much in control of possession. And they've already created 6 shots and are already 1 goal away from reaching their average per game through just the first 10 minutes. So things tracking in a positive direction for the Cougars.
Yeah, let's just hope that it does end up in a goal, because we've had other games in this season in which we've seen the Cougars push up a lot, take a couple of shots. Not all of them, but there's been a couple of games. And then it ends in a 0. It ends without a goal, which is really unfortunate. But yeah, like you said, it's a very common thing to see teams that don't really take too many shots at this level, at a D3 level. I think it's just really a confidence thing, because they feel that if they take a shot and they miss, that they'll have their teammates complain about it, or their coach complain about it, or they'll get taken out of the game. But sometimes you just got to take that shot and hope that it does come good, because that will eventually help your team out a lot more.
And with a player down on the field, you look over, and something to note with that with Rockford is this is a very thin Regents roster. Only 15 players rostered for Rockford University, and it's not a deep bench. You're already not planning on being able to use that bench much. You lose a player to injury, that bench goes down, you're able to use it even less. So Rockford already getting put into a tougher hole with a player down on the field that we will confirm who it is in just a minute, as both of these squads take back to the field. Injured player still down.
Yeah, about 2 seasons ago, for the Cougars men's soccer team, we had this issue in which there was not enough players. That we had about 17, 18 players, and I can understand the issues that this Rockford team is facing right now. It's definitely not a good thing to not have enough subs because your players get fatigued, your players get injured, your players simply are not having a good day, and then you can't really sub anybody in. And any plans of how you want it to play kind of just go out the window because you kind of just got to do what you can with what you have.
And it's Elise Lundine who's able to get up and get off the field under her own power, and the Cougars will press the offensive straight away, throwing down to the corner. Hirayama bends it in all the way over the box and out the backside. That'll be a throw-in for Rockford. Down to take it is Whiteside. Into the game to replace Lundine is Lewa. Hirayama into Moreno. Moreno rips it wide left of the post. And that's that 7th shot of the day. Cougars averaging 7.1 shots a game so far this season.
It's a great effort, and they just got to keep trying and trying because that's eventually how they're going to get this goal. They had a couple crosses, they've had a couple shots, and eventually that goal is going to come. It's very early on still in the game, so anything can happen.
Hirayama. Poor pass taken away by Flores. Daniela Flores makes a long touch, though. It's out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for the Cougs. Espinoza will take it. She'll get that down the sideline, out of bounds. Looking for Casares, so it'll be throw-in Regents. On Rockford's end, it's head coach Abby Golden's first season at the helm of the program, as she leads this team into her first conference matchup as a head coach of Rockford. Espinoza tracks that down towards the corner and watches it out the goal line for a goal kick. First action that Brooke Sheriff will see today, and it's a goal kick. Swings it over to Mendoza. Rockford already tracking back. Looking for Flores. Good step from Hirayama. Sends it up the middle, looking for Erica Flores. Flores able to get a foot on it, but can't get it to a Cougar. And that's cleared out by Wah.
You know, Jonathan, something that I just realized is that Reagan Espinoza, she has number 9 and she's a defender. That's not something you see every day. That's not something you actually see often. Usually with defenders, you'll see them with numbers like 2, 3, 4, you know, and then the number 9 is usually reserved for like the striker. In this case, she's playing as a left back and has number 9. That's very interesting.
McLaughlin tries to send that up the middle. Nice step from her Bonchek to touch that down. Now Moreno will take possession. Pass back to Burnett. Burnett swings it to Mendoza. Mendoza swings up the line for Martinez. Rockford, they're holding it around midfield a bit right now. They're struggling to take possession past midfield. Now the Cougars, they're going to take possession past midfield. And Rockford's able to take it back. Nice defensive stand from this Regents diva. You see there, just a missed pass from Rockford. That's what the Cougars have been struggling with in the last minute or two here. Now Espinoza with a chance. Top of the box. Lays it into Moreno. Moreno tries to bend it in. There's no power on it. It'll get cleared out of bounds. That will be a corner for the Cougs. Stepping over to take it is Casares. So via Casares down into the corner. Cougars crashing in from the back. It's up, and Rose punches it up. Hirayama with a head on it, and Rose catches it straight at the keeper. Another opportunity for the Cougs, and they're still yet to convert, but they're still keeping up the pressure. Long punt, touchdown by Mendoza. Wah gets that to McLaughlin. McLaughlin on the far side. looking to get around Mendoza. She cuts back, but can't get back to it, and Mendoza will pass that to Hirayama. Burnap, nice cut back. Over to Urbanchik. Trying to look to Espinoza. Too much sauce on that one. That's out of bounds, and that'll be a throw-in for Rockford. And Alfredo, you can kind of start to see that first wave of fatigue setting in for these squads. For the Cougars, it's usually not too notable. This is a team that does rotate through that bench a lot. It's more notable for Rockford, and you can see that kind of pace of play and style of play changing as you get a bit more tired. Good stab from Mendoza to take that away from Murphy.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, one of the things that Rockford's going to have to do is find a style of play that really fits with less fatigue, pretty much. Just trying to not run as much, move the ball more, because if they go into the second half with the style of play that requires a lot more running, then they're not going to make it through the entire 90 without getting scored on.
Espinoza working her way towards the box, over to Moreno. Moreno can't get it cleanly to a Cougar. Espinoza is going to get the rebound, can't keep possession, it's out of bounds, and it tips off of Espinoza. It'll be a throw-in for Rockford.
I mean, when you look at the bench, the Cougars have an immense number of options. Meanwhile, then you look over at the Rockford bench, and there really isn't much that they can do. Even if they get an injury, I'm assuming some players might even have to play out of position in this match.
Touchdown by Martinez, trying to stay with it. Gets over to Moreno. Tries to put that up for Waugh. Cougars defense disrupting it. Still chipping around. Murphy trying to track it down. Can't get there. Cougars defense finally corralling it. Mendoza cutting through some space. Trying to play that into Erica Flores. And Mapadano touches that down. Hirayama will reset the attack. Hirayama to the sideline. Martinez cuts to the corner. Bends it in. Flores gets a foot on it, and it's in! Erica Flores gets the Cougs on the board, and it's 1-0. Concordia, Chicago.
The game that we've been talking about Erica Flores the most. She's been the one that has been pushing, the one that has been trying the most. She's always in the box. She's always trying to get her foot on it. And if eventually, like I said, it will come. The goal will come. I mean, they just keep pushing. They just keep crossing, and it happened. Now it's 1-0 to the Cougars, and this is actually the second goal of the season, which is a very positive thing for them.
First goal of the year for Erica Flores. And her first collegiate goal as she plays through her freshman year with the Cougars. I mean, you look at that play the Cougars finally score on. Very similar to what we've been seeing all day. But like you talked about, Fredo, the goal will come. This time, the touch from Flores, it's down more, and it's straighter, and it gets in the net. And you see that sometimes, that touch is going to be a bit too high, a bit too wide. This time, it's on frame. Sometimes it's just a little bit of luck, and sometimes that's what you need finally for that touch to hit, and it feels great to finally get one on frame like that. And now we're going to see how the Cougars play from ahead, and from what it looks like, Cougars not letting up the pressure at all. Espinoza into the corner. A lot of space as she gets that over to Casares. Casares looking central, trying to get it to Burnap. And too much sauce on it. It's taken away by Martinez.
I know the Cougars haven't really scored much, but the goals that they have scored have been pretty good goals. They haven't just been anything that has bounced off of any player. They've been fantastic goals.
Martinez. Back to Moreno. Just tries to put that in towards McLaughlin. There's too much power on it. And it's going to head out of bounds. It'll be a corner kick. Not a corner kick. Throw right on the flag. A through ball from Flores hitting the flag. That's into Burnap. Burnap just going to boom it to Martinez. Martinez cutting up, looking for some options. The Cougars moving up the field as Burnap now will swing that over to Casares. Lot of space for Sofia Cazares. Got a country mile as she heads down to the corner. Cutting central. Bending that in. Cougars crashing. It's still up. And it is sent way over the net by Hirayama. That play almost looked like a free kick with how much space Cazares had to set that up and bend it in.
I think Sofia Cazares deserves her praise this game. She's been having a pretty decent game. She's had a couple of crosses, and honestly, she's really tried. It seems to me that she's looking a little bit fatigued, but that's because she's putting so much effort into the game.
And play will get stopped. Had a late substitution for Rockford, so Camille Longley, the junior out of Angers, France, comes into the game for Rockford. Out of the game goes Darlena Flores. And now Rockford will send it away. Hirayama trying to fight central. Mampadano takes it away. Still trying to keep possession for the Regents, and she's just going to boom it past midfield. Alvarado tracking it down. Now the Cougars defense will get their offense going right away. Out of bounds off of the Regents. And Alfredo, I think what we're kind of seeing is, you talk about that fatigue. Rockford, anytime they get that long clear, they're able to get the ball up to midfield. They don't have the players that have the speed right now, whether it's fatigue, whether it's just the style of play to push up on that and to push that advantage. It gets kicked back over midfield, and this Cougars defense has all the time in the world to take possession, to pass it around and send it back up on the attack. I mean, that was a great clear from Rockford, and the Cougars able to turn it into a corner kick opportunity now as Cazares puts it up. It's way up. It's punched down by Rose. Still getting batted around in the box. And it's finally headed out of the box, and McLaughlin going to take possession and try and work her way upfield. Murphy just going to boot it to some space, and that's actually going to work out for Rockford. A lot of space for Longley. Longley looking central for Martinez. And she'll send that back to Mampadano. Good step from Urbanchik to take that back for CUC, but a poor touch, and Rockford's going to take it back. And then a poor pass from Longley, and the Cougars take it back. Moreno with some space on the near side, into the box, cuts in, and she's going to be taken away by Rockford. Had an opportunity if she wanted to rip one with the left foot, tried to get it over to her right, and lost the opportunity. Out of bounds on the back line. That'll be a goal kick for Rockford. And another thing I'm kind of starting to notice here, Alfredo, with this Rockford team, and I mean, it's all fatigue. They're not being very aggressive on the loose balls. And there's a lot of them, like both these teams, playing pretty sloppy right now in the midfield. Rockford hasn't been very aggressive on the step to get to a loose ball to try and take it away.
Yeah, I feel that the lack of aggressiveness has to do a lot with just trying to conserve energy. With Rockford, the keys for this game is pretty much just keep as much possession as possible and move the ball. Don't run too much, like I said before. Just move the ball. You do not have the energy or the bench to really, the depth to really afford going in full speed as the Cougars do. The Cougars, they have a huge advantage, which is their depth, and the fact that they don't have one singular player that always shows up. It's constantly different players in different games. They have the motivation to say they want to show up in different games,
Oh, gets sent out of bounds. That'll be a Rockford throw on the far side of the field. And Hirayama so down on the field, and her teammates calling for a sub as the trainer comes out. So the Cougars lose one of the backbones of their starting 11 for now, as Hirayama gets up herself and is going to walk off the field.
It doesn't seem to be too bad of an injury or anything. She might be able to continue. She is a very important player, though. I've always said throughout the season that she is like what I would compare as a Busquets kind of player. Recovers the ball, passes, moves the ball around a lot, and it's like she's the heart of that midfield. She's been very, very good this season.
And Gruel into the game to replace Hirayama. McLaughlin. Good touch, creating some space. Tries to set it upfield for Longley. She slipped and fell. And the Cougars are going to take that away. Casares looking for a pass. Does a little circle, gets it back to Espinoza. And the Cougars will just reset with the defense. Mendoza down the line, out of bounds, throw in Rockford. I mean, just as you start talking about fatigue on both ends, you're seeing it a bit on the Cougars' end. You have a lineup of 3 players getting ready to sub in for CUC. Garza prepping up his first changes. As there's a nice through ball to Casares. Able to get a touch on it, but it's not controlled through the challenge. And Rose comes out and picks it up.
Do you think the fatigue on the Cougars end has to do a bit with the weather? I mean, the sun's hitting pretty hard down on them.
I mean, part of it's fatigue. I think part of it, though, is, I mean, it's soccer. It's a running game. And this usually is around when we see Coach Garza start to make his first changes. He starts to rotate players in. And I think this hasn't felt too abnormal for what we see from CUC in terms of energy and fatigue as that ball is picked out of the air by Rose. Casares ripped a long one. Doesn't seem too abnormal. I mean, it is sunnier, it is hotter than most of those games will play, and that will affect you a bit more, but this is a pretty well-conditioned team, and I think Coach Garza, part of this is just not pushing it too much. You have the lead, you're playing from the lead, you don't need to press too much. Presley Alvarado calls for Martinez, sends it to Martinez. Martinez passing back to Mendoza.
What I'd like to mention is that the Cougars have had full control of this game. I don't think that Rockford has really put any threat on our side. I don't think they've even had a clear opportunity yet throughout this game.
Casares over to Mendoza. Mendoza sends it to the corner of the box. Flores comes out for it. Martinez will send that up to Burnap. Burnap will turn it. Trying to get to Espinoza. Good step from Longley, but she can't control and it's out of bounds. $18 to go in half number 1. Cougars make a trio of subs. As Espinoza gets ready to throw in for Concordia Chicago. Espinoza looking down the line, gets to Casares. Casares trying to turn on it. Cleared away by Mampandano. Now Alvarado looking towards the sideline. Mendoza moving up the sideline. Creates some space. Sticking with it. Still with it. And whistle going to get tagged on Rockford. We'll get a free kick from about 35 out for CUC. And actually more like 45 out. Official calls it back 10 yards. Actually, let's see, he was calling Mendoza over. No, he was calling for the ball to be 10 yards further back. So, Burnap will bring that back. Cougars lining up at the top of the box. Rockford an even spread with the defense at the top of the box. Nice trickery from the Cougars. And Mendoza tries to bend it in. It's deflected down.
Yeah, that seemed to have hit one of the Rockford players in the face. She's on the ground. Um, doesn't look good.
And so we'll take a break for injury. I'm not going to lie, Alfredo, that was a bit of an interesting setup for a free kick from 45 out. You had a 3-person wall from Rockford that far out, and it didn't get into the box, and the Cougars weren't really stacking the box, but kind of an interesting setup. You don't see that kind of setup for that far out that often. I mean, to get the angle to put it into the box, it'll go over that wall easily anyways. It has to, just physics. So it's an interesting setup. You don't see it that often. It works out for Rockford because of what the Cougars did. You know, you get some misdirection, a couple fake kicks, get it out on the field. But
I feel what Coach Eddie Garza wanted with that play was to kind of have the Cougars catch Rockford off guard by having pretty much not enough players in the box, and then suddenly having one of ours run down the wing. That's when our players run down into the box and then catch everybody off guard because there's nobody marking the ones that were back on defense. Unfortunately, the play didn't really went as planned, but right now we're waiting on what's going to happen with the player that got hit in the face.
and it's the officials having a chat with Coach Garza. I mean, something to kind of note coming off of that. Anytime you get an injury break for Rockford, it's actually, you know, ignoring the fact that a player is injured, it's a great break for Rockford. This is the team that has a thin bench. They can't sub in fresh legs, and you saw that one of their players down. Everyone else is hustling over to the bench to get some water, get a break over on the bench. While they have that chance, they're going to try and take advantage of that anytime there's a stoppage of play, probably throughout the rest of this game, especially in the back section of these halves. So that's something Rockford we'll see as part of their, plan to compensate for having a smaller roster. You see that when teams have smaller rosters. You've got to take those small little breaks when you can get them. On the Cougars end, team with a large bench, everyone's just hanging out on the field, waiting for play to resume. You're not rushing over to the bench. Half of this roster wasn't out here when the game started. So you have fresh legs. You don't need that break as much. And that's where you start to see that mentality difference.
Right.
But,
sorry.
Yeah.
And as opposed to like professional games in which the time keeps going and doesn't get stopped, in these games the time gets stopped, which is really positive for them because they're not wasting time. They're not losing out on opportunities, but they are recovering a little bit with the 1 minute, 2 minutes that they get in between with those breaks. And that for Rockford is golden. Is a golden opportunity to try to reset their game.
At this point, I'm not sure where the stoppage of play is coming from. And finally, the officials blow the whistle and say good to go. Espinoza coming towards the sideline, trying to get it down the corner. Still trying to fight for it to get into the corner. It's out of bounds off of Espinoza, throw in Rockford. It looks like both of these coaches are annoyed with the officials at this point. I think looks to be something to do with injury substitutions. As Chavez sends it central to Hirayama, rips it, off of the corner of the post and picked out of the air by Rose. You can't get closer to going top bins than that.
What an absolute shot. Honestly, if that would have gone in, that would have been probably one of the goals of the season. Fantastic from Hirayama. And the thing that I've said in the last goal, they don't score just regular goals. They score absolute amazing, beautiful goals. And this would have been another one with that example.
Whistle blown. Tagged on Mendoza. Sanchez back to clear it away. Freshman out of Boylan in Rockford, Illinois, as Natalie Flores tries to work that to the corner, passes it back to Mendoza. Mendoza booms it into the box. It's down. It's out of bounds off the Cougars. Erica Flores got the foot out on it. Incredibly similar play to her the last time she got in the net. This time, wasn't able to get enough angle on it. It's out the back line for a goal kick. Just under 15 to go in the game. Cougars leading 1-0. Rose tries to boom that away. It's low. Espinoza steps on it. Espinoza has a lot of time in the corner. Now she's got pressure. Slowly working her way in. Still has it. Rips a left footer. Just off the post. And out of bounds. That'll be a goal kick.
You know, talk about a false nine. In this case, it's a defender with number 9 who likes to go up a lot. Espinoza just absolutely gets through that entire defense and takes the shot. It's unfortunate that it was a little bit wide, but that would have been a fantastic goal from her.
Here's a step from Arteaga Vasquez. Now Erica Flores, a left footer. Not enough sauce on it, easily fallen on by Rose. Man, that's shot number 15 on the day for Concordia, more than doubling their per game average coming into the day. And so this is an opportunity to see how this team can function the way that Coach Garza wants their offense to. I think you talk about Espinoza coming up the sideline and liking to play aggressive on offense. I think that's a glimpse at what that is. We've seen this team, the defense has to be on the back foot all game long, all 4 defenders. When this team is operating the way they want to, when they have the pace and momentum that they want to, you see those wing defenders push up down to the box, push up the sideline, provide that additional pressure, that additional presence. Obviously, the Cougars have been playing down a lot this season, and when you're facing that defensive pressure, you got to keep the defenders back. Today, the Cougars, they've been in the offensive third more. That gives you the time and opportunity to let those defenders push up.
Yeah, right. I love those defenders that, like those wing backs that push up a lot. I think that it's very useful to the team, especially in this new age of soccer. Because in the past, it was more of having all the defenders just purely defend. Now, for wing backs, they go up a lot more. They contribute a lot more to the attack. They're more technically sound. They have more ability. So that's one thing that I see with Espinoza, and she's done a fantastic job of that.
There's a nice through ball to Arteaga Vasquez, one-on-one with the keep, puts it up, slapped down by Rose. And Rose falls on top of the clearance from her own defender. And another great opportunity for the Cougars, another great save by Lily Rose. I mean, you mentioned that, and you kind of alluded to there, Alfredo. It's a bit more of that higher-level pro-style offense that you're seeing in soccer, and that's contrasted with what we've seen from the Cougars a lot this season when they're playing from behind, getting forced to play they don't want to, which is a bit more of that high school-style offense. Boom the ball down, try to get some runs, try and hope for something to happen with a loose ball. Here's another through ball, but Hirayama can't get there, and that'll be a goal kick. But, yeah, you can tell, and you've been able to tell all season, Coach Garza wants his team to play at a high level. He wants them to play organized and controlled. They just haven't had the opportunity or been in the position to do so a lot this season. This is the first glimpse we've really had of that this season.
Yeah, and it's not easy to jump into that kind of style of soccer. It's a very complicated style to really adapt to, because when you're coming in from high school where it's more of just like sending long balls and having everybody in the same position, you don't really get that kind of opportunity to adapt to any new styles. And in college, coaches are different. Coaches are more advanced when it comes to how they think, how they want to set up their teams. And that's where you see who does adapt and who doesn't on the field.
Nice step from Hirayama. Rockford again on the back foot. Martinez lays it back to Sanchez. Sanchez throwing central. Mapindano gets it upfield to Sanchez. Sanchez with some space. Gets it to McLaughlin. And Hirayama, a nice recovery to take that away. Bring it back to Concordia. She's got a free parking space in the middle of the field, bringing it all the way over to the left side. Looking central, gets it to Arteaga Vasquez. And that's going to be Chavez who's tagged with the offsides. Just made the run 1 or 2 seconds early. That'll be a free kick for Rockford.
Player that they really have to try to look for is Fairless. She has that speed, she has that ability, and I think even though they're not, the Cougars are not playing that counterattack that they had been playing in other games in which they can let Fairless run through the entire defense with a through ball. They still have that speed from her. They still have that ability to take on players, and she's going to be a very key player in this in these last few minutes of the first half.
It's Moreno back to send it away. Looking for Longley, and a nice step from Espinoza to touch that down. Ortega Vasquez gets it to Gruel. Gruel looking central, not enough on it. Murphy chips it up. Gruel, second opportunity. This time goes left for Chavez. Chavez, central, trying to get some space. Tries to rip it, deflected down by the defense. Now cutting in is Natalie Flores, rips it, deflected down by the defense. Second chance opportunity, deflected down again, and she's going to boom it through the uprights. That'll be a goal kick for Lily Rose. Rockford just parked the bus on that defensive stand. 8 of their field players back in the box. Now Gruel steps on it again, looking in central again, cleared away again. Alvarado over towards the sideline. Schlisman looking down line, gets it to Fairless. Fairless down in the corner, out to Natalie Flores. Flores coming central. Still trying to fight for it. Finally taken away by Rockford. Whistle finally blowing. It's tagged on the Cougs. And it'll get cleared away by the Regents. Just about 7 minutes to go in half number 1. Cougars still providing the pressure, but they only lead by 1.
One thing you see a lot from our forwards is that they're fantastic when it comes to their dribbling ability, taking on players. They're not afraid to, and most of the time they win those one-on-ones with the defenders. Those dribbles have been fantastic. This game, it's better than any of the other games that I've seen. It's really a good day for the Cougars, and let's just hope that the score pretty much reflects it a little bit more than just a 1-0.
Alvarado over to Bonchek. Up the middle. Now passing back to Espinoza. Now up to Hirayama. Hirayama over to the side. Hirayama in the box of Chavez. Rips it high.
It's a great attempt. Unfortunately, a little bit too high. But I will say Chavez has been doing great on that wing as well. She's been on the field for a couple of minutes, and she's a freshman as well. She's not really tall. She's from Morgan Hill, California, and I'd like to see a little bit more from her because she's been attempting a few shots.
Chavez again, running baseline, still bouncing around. Stepping on it is Gruel. Gruel takes it up, passing central to Hirayama. Hirayama fighting with it. It's back to Gruel. Gruel lays it in, headed out. Murphy trying to secure it out. Can't do it. Natalie Flores chips into the box. Rockford keeping it in play off of their own teammates, and Ortega Vasquez's rebound shot is wide left of the post. It'll be another goal kick. They get 21 shots and still counting for the next 5 minutes for the first half today. And it's actually a corner kick. That'll be a great opportunity still for the Cougars. Chavez over to send it up. Cougars crashing in from the backside. Ball's up. Ortega Vasquez misses. the jump, and the Cougars going to have to reset from well outside the box. Schlissman coming in. That's cleared out of bounds by, or if he tried to clear it out of bounds, Schlissman able to recover to it. Got a funky spin on it. It's over to Espinoza. Nice rainbow. Trying to work into the box. Give and go. They miss on the go, and Rockford will clear it away. Or at least try to, as the Cougars able to keep in the attacking third. Arteaga Vasquez, central, rips it, deflected down. Still loose in the box. Rose watches it out the line. Trying to argue it's off the Cougs. It's not. It's a corner. Another opportunity for Concordia. This will be the 5th corner kick of the day for CUC. Cougars again going to crash from the backside. That's low to the front.
I believe that'll be another corner.
Ooh. A lucky break for Rockford. The front line whiffed on it. Fairless chasing on it, got some contact with it, still deflected out of bounds by Rockford. We'll do it again. This one's high and off the front post out of bounds. That'll be a goal kick.
Did we just see the possibility of an Olympic goal? Like when they take it from the corner and it ends up going in? Because that was very close.
I mean, that was right off the top of the post. I think didn't get the right sort of bend on it. Looked like it was bending in from out of bounds. But, I mean, we've had some great corners today from the Cougars. Still yet to convert on any of them, though.
There's little to no pressure on our defense. It's really, Rockford have really gone to park the bus this whole entire rest of the game. They really just don't want anything more than a 1-0.
And that's what the Regents, I mean, you can tell they're trying to do right now. Park the bus, get out of the half, and get a break at halftime. Get those legs back to try and push again in the second half, as that's cleared out of bounds by Pinedo. I mean, yeah, that's what you got to do when you got a thin roster like this. Your players are tired. You've been playing for 43 minutes. Just get to halftime, survive. This game's still very much within touching distance. This will get another corner for the Cougars. Just under 2 minutes to go in the half now. Chavez over to take it again. Chavez puts it up. It's down. Schlissman deflected down again. We're going to whistle tagged on the Cougars.
I mean, regardless of what the score is and how Rockford have been playing, they've really gotten very lucky, because this game easily should have been at least anywhere around a 3-4-0 lead for the Cougars.
Espinoza watches it out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Concordia. Down the line to Arteaga Vasquez, and it's out of bounds off of Mapindano. Under a minute to go in the half. Cougars still pushing up to the offensive third. Looking for Chavez. Chavez crosses it in, deflected right back out to Chavez. She'll cross that again, deflected down again. This time she'll look back to Espinoza. Espinoza lifts it across, and Murphy's there to touch it down. Alvarado looking to the top of the box. Fighting for it is Fairless. Can't win it, and it's cleared out again by Rockford. 10 seconds to go in the half. And they'll get the throw-in off, and that'll be it for half number 1 here in River Forest. And the Cougars go to the break leading for the first time this year. It's 1-0 Concordia Chicago. As we head to the break, they'll rest up. They'll get back out here for half number 2. and so will we on the Cougar Sports Network. We'll be back in just a moment.
University Chicago is a Christ-centered Lutheran university where truth, freedom, and vocation form students for lives of influence and service for the common good. Our university offers a wide variety of undergraduate and graduate degree options that are available in person and online. That means we have a program designed for you. Whether you're a high school student, an adult returning to complete your degree, or someone looking to enhance your credentials and prepare for career growth. As a member of this university community, you'll also find support in your spiritual and personal life so you can grow in the faith and discover ways to serve others. To start your next journey with us, visit cuchicago.edu today.
Welcome back to the Cougar Sports Network. We're live here in River Forest, Illinois for half number 2 of the NAC opener between the Concordia Chicago Cougars and the Rockford University Regents. CUC leads 1-0 out of the break. First time the Cougars have held the lead at the break this season, and they'll continue to play from the lead as they get ready to go here in the first half. Rockford comes out of a desperately needed halftime break, get some rest, freshen up those legs, and get ready to go for half number 2. The Regents defensively doing what they need to so far. Offensively, they have struggled to push the ball up on offense. No shots yet today for Rockford and the Cougars. Keepers first half, Brooke Sheriff. Second half, it's going to be Caitlin Wagner. They have had a light day so far, only seeing action with a couple goal kicks as we get ready to go here in half number 2. It'll be the Cougars taking the kickoff. Michelle Marecki out at center to get it going. And she'll step back out to the side. Mia Hirayama will come up for the kick. And now we are underway. Hirayama gonna boom it away, and the Cougars trying to push the pace. It's over Sanchez and out of bounds throw in Rockford. Now, Alfredo, the most notable thing out of that first half, the offensive pressure from the Cougars as Erica Flores tagged with the foul there. 22 shots through the first half. They have held the ball in the attacking third. They've been putting them up on goal. And on the flip side of that, it's still just a 1-0 game.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that's only 1-0 because the amount of shots that we've had has been incredible. It's been insane. I believe that it's the game in which we've had the most shots ever, and that's actually a very positive thing. And let's hope that this second half can see the same results. Let's hope that we can see a couple more goals, and this will be a turning part of the game for the next following games after this.
Moreno loses possession. That'll get all the way back to the Cougar defense. Bonchek down the line looking for Espinoza. Espinoza now working towards the corner. Moreno up to Hirayama. Hirayama over to Schlissman. Cougars slowly working in closer and closer to the box. Schlissman back central to Marecki. Touchdown by Arteaga Vasquez. Arteaga Vasquez over to Erica Flores. Flores cuts back. Back to Schlissman. Cougars content to just hold possession right now and wait for the opportunity to present itself. Bonchek over to the far side. Gets it over to Espinoza, who will push down towards the corner. Gets it into Marecki. Marecki back out to Bonchek. Now Bonchek just rips it, and it's picked up by Rose, who's caught a little off guard, able to recover before Erica Flores got there.
You know, it's really nice to see how a lot of these freshmen slowly gain more confidence as the season goes on. In the first games, they were a little bit more nervous. They really didn't know whether to pass it or shoot or what their next move was going to be. And now, later on in the season, you see them with a lot more confidence. You see them with a lot more motivation to attempt things like shots from like the 30-yard line. It's interesting and very, very positive aspect to this team.
Hirayama tied with a foul. It'll be a free kick for Rockford. 10th foul of the day called on the Cougs. And Bonchek takes that away. Bonchek working towards the sideline. She'll just pass it back to the rest of her defense as Espinoza will get that to Hirayama. Hirayama swings it over to Schlissman, and she has a lot of space on the near side. She'll play it back to Hirayama. Hirayama looking for Arteaga Vasquez. Arteaga Vasquez with some space, playing it towards the corner. Espinoza chasing it down. Espinoza turning it, still with it, into the box, lifts it up, headed up by Martinez. It's still bouncing around. Moreno plays it central. That's going to get cleared away. Wah sends it up to Bonchek, who rips another long one. This one's wide and out of bounds. I mean, tell her Bonchek, the Cougars, not having the easiest time getting into the box right now. They're holding that possession very well. So just trying to test the keeper from distance. First time got on frame, that time did not.
Bonchek and Reagan Espinoza have been a solid duo over there on defense. They've kept everything out. They've even...
Erica Flores chasing on it, trying to get it around Rose. It's out of bounds off of Rockford, so that would be a corner kick.
Yeah, like I mentioned, they've even had a couple of attempts to go forward and help out the attack. So that's a very solid duo back on defense.
Bonchek coming all the way over for the corner. They'll send Espinoza back to be the safety. Bonchek puts it up. It's to the back. Hirayama puts it down. It's still loose. It's over the goal. Alvarado can't keep it down.
It was a fantastic attempt. Alvarado seems a little bit frustrated that she didn't get a better contact on it. But like I said, first half was incredible. The second half seems to be no different. And we just need that ball to go in the back of the net. That's the only thing that's missing from this team.
Yeah, and the problem, and Alvarado just too under it, just chipped it, straight foot, fully under, and just chipping it over, not going with that solid contact from the side. A lot of times you'll see that. You get a great opportunity, you panic a little bit, and you don't get the right kind of shot that you want. But the Cougars pushing right back up on the offensive end of the ball. Martinez trying to clear it away. Fighting for it with Artiega Vasquez. Cut central. Taken away. Espinoza towards the corner. A lot of space for Espinoza. Still a lot of space. Plays it over towards Flores. And Flores will pass it back to Schlissman. Schlissman just going to rip it. And it's cleared out of bounds by Mapandano. How about another corner for the Cougars?
The height at which the Cougars are playing at is incredible. If you look at the keepers, she's almost in the middle of the field. And when it comes to the defenders, they're all up on top inside the box. It's incredible.
Bonchek, arm up, puts it up. Alvarado, wide right.
Alvarado has gotten 2 opportunities in those corners. I feel like she's going to be a very important player when it comes to any of those crosses, any of those opportunities that they have in the box.
Alvarado keeps it moving left. Bonchek with some space. Plays that to Artiega Vasquez. Artiega Vasquez back to Alvarado. Alvarado looking to Schlissman. Back to Hirayama. Hirayama trying to stay with it. Wah gets a foot on it, but the Cougars will retain possession. Espinoza trying to play corner. Slips. It's loose. Moreno's there to take it. Down to the corner to Espinoza. Tries to bend it in. Cleared out by Moreno. Cougars still fighting for it. Marecki can't get a shot off, and it's cleared away. Now Schlissman takes possession. Schlissman into Erica Flores. Flores into the box. Down to the corner to Martinez. Crosses it in. Punched out by Rose. Hirayama trying to track down the rebound. She'll play that back to Alvarado. Alvarado crossing over to Espinoza. Moving central. Trying to move into the box. That's going to be tapped away. Whiteside just kicks it out of bounds. We'll get a throw in for the Cougars. You talk about height. We have been playing in the penalty box for the last 3 minutes. Rockford not able to catch their breath since the start of the half. Moreno turns it, chips it up. It's down, still down, and out of bounds off of Marecki, and that'll be a goal kick.
One thing to point out about the Rockford goalkeeper, she's been doing a fantastic job. A lot of saves, actually, this game. If it wasn't for her, there would be a couple of chances that would have easily put this game up by like 5 goals to nothing.
And 10-1 save to goal ratio right now for Lily Rose. And this Rockford defense in general has done a good job of just surviving the pressure from Concordia Chicago so far today. Alvarado over to Schlissman. Schlissman up the sideline, cut central. She'll play it back to Alvarado over to Urbanchek. Lots of space on the far side for Espinoza. Looks to Moreno in the corner. Moreno takes it into the corner. Moreno into the box. Moreno tries to get it to a player. Waz there, but Waz sends it straight back to Moreno. Cross in. Gets through everybody and out of bounds. That'll be a goal kick. Rose sets up for the take. Look at the play-by-play here from the game. It's a lot of goal kick by Rockford. Rose Lily, goal kick by Rockford. Rose Lily, goal kick by Rockford. Rose Lily. A lot of goal kicks for Rockford lately. And it's because the Cougars are pushing up that offensive pressure, and they're not able to get it on frame. It's getting out the back of the field. And here's a nice takeaway for Martinez. Rockford trying to push the pace up. Martinez trying to cross it over to McLaughlin. McLaughlin has it. McLaughlin trying to go and get a shot off. Can't do it. Murphy trying to track it down. Deflected down by Hirayama. And the Cougars going to try and flip the pressure. Martinez going central to Artiega Vasquez. Numbers are even. Long shot and a poor shot from Artiega Vasquez. And it's picked up by Rose.
Yeah, there was a bit of a mistake back there on defense by Urbanchek, but the Cougars defense was able to get back and recover. And as a matter of fact, they almost went on a counterattack that ended up in a goal-scoring opportunity. Unfortunately, the shot was a little bit too slow, so it didn't really get much on it.
Flores plays that into the box. It's past Martinez and out of bounds. How about another goal kick for Lily Rose? Sent downfield. Hirayama touches it down. Hirayama trying to fight through traffic. It's taken away by Martinez. She'll play that up for Longley. Martinez tracking it back down. Fighting for it. Out of bounds. Off her Bonchek. Daisy Martinez putting in work on the far side to try and give her team a chance. And they'll move the offense up as Moreno comes over for the throw. Long throw looking for Longley, headed up by Espinoza. Cougars going to try and push the pressure the opposite way. Numbers are even. Erica Flores moving over to the corner. Gets it to Martinez. Martinez down to the corner. Bends it across. Deflected by Sanchez. Sanchez trying to turn it. Martinez turns it instead. And they'll tag that as out of bounds. Goal kick for Rockford. And we'll get a wave of subs for Concordia. Get some fresh legs on the field. 4 in, 4 out for CUC. Natalie Flores, Sofia Casares up high. Jasleen Gruel in for Mia Hirayama. drama. It's Grace Chavez now up in the corner, and she tracks this one back and passes it back to her defense. There's the ball looking for Cazares. Cazares back to Schlissman. Schlissman has some time, boots it in, headed in by Erica Flores. Now Cazares into Erica Flores. Rockford still can't clear it away. It's loose and saved by Lucy Mapindano. Gets back, kicks it away from the front of the net. And Lily Rose's defense has her back. We'll get another corner kick for CUC, 10th of the day. Ball's up. And it's down, loose, top of the box. Natalie Flores picks up a field goal as that's sent high and through the uprights. And it'll be another goal kick for Rockford.
Yeah, Cazares with a fantastic cross. Unfortunately, nobody got a head on it. She also was the one who gave the through ball in the play prior to that, and she's been having a really good game.
Espinoza heads that down. Natalie Flores taking possession central, turning on it. Top of the box to Cazares. Cazares moving up towards the box, and that'll draw the foul right at the top of the arc. And the Cougars going to have a straightaway central free kick opportunity. And this is where you're going to see that wall get built. We're going to have a four-man wall built for Rockford. Cougars evenly splitting their attack. 3 going to crash from the left, 4 going to crash from the right. Everyone.
It's a very interesting goal-scoring opportunity if they can get it past the wall. It's a very close shot. It's a very dangerous position for the goalkeeper.
Alvarado to take. Alvarado puts it up. And it's wide left for a goal kick. Presley Alvarado just struggling to find the frame in this second half. And the Rockford Regents survive that one and keep it at a 1-goal deficit. I mean, you get that a couple more feet to the right. That's a really nice shot from Presley Alvarado. Yeah, just struggling to get those shots on frame right now. Daisy Martinez trying to retain possession on the far side. Tapped out of bounds by Grace Chavez. Throw in Rockford. Got another substitution. Lorenza Mendoza waiting on the sideline for CUC. Tapped out of bounds by Rockford. So the defense will track back. The Cougars offense will push up.
You know, I've always wondered when it comes to like goalkeepers, when they don't get any opportunity, when they don't get any trouble for them. Caitlin Wagner's one of them right now. She's nearly at the middle of the field, and she's not really having anything to worry about. Is that something that they wish they had at least an opportunity to make a save, or do they prefer it when it's like that, just like no opportunities at all?
I mean, well, here's Sophia Cazares. Long rip picked up by Rose. As a keeper, you love to have action. You love to make a big save. You love to see some stuff. It does get a little boring back there in a game where you're not touching the ball, but it's also really comforting because it's a break. There's no pressure on you. You kind of just get to sit back and relax, watch the game happen up front, and it's boring, but you're not going to complain about it because it means that your team is playing great up top. You don't have to worry about the ball coming back to you. Obviously, you stay a bit on your toes. You get ready for some long balls, but it's the most stress-free game that you can have as a goalie, and it's a nice break to have when you don't have to worry about making a play and the pressure isn't on you for nearly the entirety of the game. That out of bounds. Mendoza will take the throw. They'll send it back to Alvarado. And when you look at that team perspective, the goalie is more of a team position than it looks like. A lot of goals you can attribute to the defense rather than the goalie. The kind of save the goalie has to make is dependent upon the defense. And whether you're having to do anything is dependent upon the rest of your team. So you love that the rest of your team is playing well. As Murphy clears that out, here's Mendoza from deep. And over the net. Scrapes the crossbar. That's shot number 35 on the day for CUC. I mean, the Cougars just racking up the shots, and they keep up this pace. They're going to get close to their season total by the end of this game. And it's still just a 1-0 match. As Rockford will clear this one away again. Martinez touches that down. Trying to stick with it. And the whistle blown on the Cougs. Martinez gets up slowly. And they'll stop play to give her a chance to catch her breath.
You know, something that you mentioned is that they probably will get to their season total with the amount of shots that they're taking. That is a good thing, and that actually probably gives them a little bit more confidence going into the rest of the season to attempt more of these shots. The better that they get at taking these shots, the more confidence they get, even the more that they practice it during the week, the more opportunity they have to actually make a difference in these games that they've been struggling with. In which it's been like a 2-0 loss. They could equalize those games if they continue to take those shots.
That's cleared far upfield. McLaughlin can't get up there for it. She gets the rebound, still putting pressure on it. And she'll draw the foul. High kick tagged on Lorenza Mendoza. And we're going to get a free kick from 40 yards out for the Regents. One of the best opportunities Rockford's had all day as Ariana Moreno comes up for the kick. Rockford an even spread at the top of the box. Cougars parking the bus. Moreno puts it up. That's going to go wide left of Wagner. She'll watch it out, and that'll be a goal kick. Second shot of the day for the Regents there. Just can't get it on frame. And the Cougars will push the pace back up past midfield. Urbanchek breaking away, lays it off to Espinoza. Espinoza down the line. Pushes that upfield. Looking for Erica Flores. It's out of bounds off of Mapindano. Espinoza comes up for the throw. Cougars tracking all the way up, getting into the box. Espinoza back to Urbanchek, a lot of space. And Urbanchek just rips this one, picked up by Rose. That's just testing the keeper, seeing if she'll make a mistake. To her credit, Lily Rose has made minimal mistakes today. Whistle's blown, plays stopped. The official goes to check on Daisy Martinez, and they'll sub her out of the match. Out goes Martinez. In comes Starlina Flores. Will be a drop ball around midfield for the Cougars. So Martinez, they're going to make sure she's okay over on the sideline. It'll be a drop ball for the Cougs. Now. Rule back to Urbanchek. They'll swing it over to Espinoza. And here we go again. Espinoza down the sideline. Looking central for Erica Flores. Flores fighting for it. Almost wins it. Gruel trying to recover it. Now Casares takes it. And that's taken away by McLaughlin. McLaughlin trying to break away down the far side. Urbanchek's there to shield her off and take possession. She'll turn it She had a lot of space up the sideline herself now. Long through ball. And they're going to tag the offsides on Grace Chavez, just a step ahead of where she needed to be.
Very unfortunate, because that was a fantastic through ball. Actually, the vision to send that through in that way is really amazing, actually.
Yeah, and the defense on her side just missing her. She slips through. They don't know she's there. It's that backside defense on the near side that pick up the slack, keep that line pushed up, and have that awareness to make sure that Chavez is called offsides, as Moreno will just boot that to the Cougars defense. Or Bonchek sends it right back the other way, gets it to Chavez. Chavez coming central. Arteaga Vasquez plays that back. Mendoza up the line to Flores. Natalie Flores has that chipped out of bounds. So Mendoza will throw it in from the near side. And we have another sub out of the game as Arteaga Vasquez. Into the game as Mia Hirayama.
I wonder if Mia Hirayama is going to be playing in a more attacking role, or if she's going to be moving a little bit more down as a center defensive mid.
Yeah, I mean, usually Coach Garza uses Hirayama and Gruel in that rotating role as a defensive mid, but both on the field right now, Gruel holding that defensive mid spot, so Hirayama pushing up a bit more on offense as that through ball is taken away and then taken right back by Espinoza. Down to the corner to Chavez. Crossing it in. Rose coming out on it. Miscommunication with the defense, but they're able to clear it away anyways. That's cleared out of bounds by Whiteside. As we get another subs for the Cougs. Martinez into the game, replacing Erica Flores. Throwing back to her, Bonchek. Show test the keeper. Saved by Rose.
Bonchek's tried a few of those in this second half. I believe it's about 3 of them. They have all been on target. It might just be a little bit too far for the goalkeeper to really not get her hands on it. The goalkeeper's been great this whole entire season. I mean, this entire game, Lily Rose has been fantastic.
Chavez over to Mendoza. Now Natalie Flores in the corner. Tries to turn it. Can't get enough power on it. Now Sanchez stuck in the corner. Passes it straight to Jasleen Gruel. Is going to rip one. Saved by Rose. Great save from the keeper. That would have gone top bins. And we'll get a corner kick for the Cougars. Lily Rose up to 15 saves in the game. She's got a 93% save percentage, which is a great stat line for a keeper, especially with the pressure she's been under today. As Cazares puts that up top of the box. That's headed out of the box by Alvarado. Gets it on the wrong side of the head. Cazares will send it back in. Just takes a rip. Rose!
Will that count?
Deflects it up. That should not be a goal. And they're going to and the officials will make the right call. It's off the top of the crossbar, then off of the football goalpost. And the instant the ball makes contact with the football goalpost, it's out of bounds, because if that goalpost wasn't there, it would be out of bounds. So the Cougars think they have a goal for a split second. It's wiped off the board, but they'll push the pressure right back. Chavez sends it in. It's down. It's still up. Murphy trying to clear it. Natalie Flores tries to rip it. Cleared out again. Daniela Flores all alone up top. Now get out of bounds off of her, or Bonchek putting her under pressure. Tracking those shots. Under about 18 minutes to go, 39 shots for the Cougs. That's crossed in just over the head of Natalie Flores. It'll be another goal kick.
Prior to that disallowed goal, Kasser has had a fantastic cross, and that's actually what caused that opportunity. Then after that, obviously the ball was supposed to go out, and I've seen a couple of occasions in which that's happened. Even when I used to play, it was really unfortunate because we did think that we had scored, but if it hadn't been for that bouncing back in, it should have been out.
It's getting bounced around central. Casares to Hirayama. Hirayama can't take it cleanly. That's going to get cleared up to Urbanchek. Urbanchek over to Mendoza. Cougars slowly moving up. Urbanchek to Casares, who calls for it. And she'll get the call. So it'll be a free kick from the near side, 30 yards out. Another great opportunity for Concordia coming up. As you see those pre-free kick shenanigans between Martinez and McLaughlin. 3-man wall for Rockford. Both Martinez and Urbanchek over on the kick. And the official comes over to give a warning to Reagan Espinoza as the Rockford wall complains about her pushing them too much. And he's going to give her a card. I mean, that's a petty card both from Espinoza, but also from the officials. So the Rockford defense able to secure a moral win as Martinez is the decoy. Urbanchek rips it, and it's caught by Rose. I mean, you want to talk about soft yellow cards. It's a soft yellow card, and you can see where the official's reasoning for it is. Telling Espinoza she had to leave a width between the wall and herself. He walks away. She made a movement back to go towards the wall again. And that would be the reasoning for it. Wasn't enough of a movement to warrant a card, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think that I think that was a little bit too much. I don't think a card was necessary at all.
And there's another loose ball in front of the goal, cleared out by Rockford. Mendoza just going to take a rip, and it's wide of the net. And it'll be another goal kick. Just under 15 minutes to go. Cougars lead 1-0 over the Rockford Regents. And play will be stopped as there's an injured Lucy Mapindano down on the floor. And you see the Rockford lineup running over to the bench to get a break and get some words from Abby Golden. Trainer's out for Mapindano.
If this game ends with a 1-0 win for the Cougars, this actually would be the lowest amount of goals that Rockford have conceded in their entire season. The second in line would be the University of Olivet, which was a 2-1 loss. All the other games have been over 3 goals. 3 goals or more.
I mean, on the Cougars' end, you're happy you're winning. You're frustrated because you should be winning by more. 42 shots, 19 shots on goal, and you only have one goal. I mean, right now it's at a 0.23 shot percentage. On this game alone, it's about the same for the season still as this game. You know, they got another goal. Shots are about evening it out. And that's not a good shot percentage. You don't want that to be there. And you look at how these shots have been. Lots of shots off frame, lots of missed opportunities. And a good chunk of these shots on goal are straight at Rose, and they've been easy saves. So You're getting a lot of shots. You're getting that volume. You love to see it, and it's translated into a goal. It has the Cougars in position for a win right now. It's still not where you want it to be. You want a bit more goals from that volume of shots.
Yeah, I think eventually it will come throughout the season. But I don't know if you remember when we first watched the first few games of this team, the problem that they had was just creating chances, getting shots on goal. And now that they've fixed that, now the next step to fixing their goal problem is pretty much just getting them as much on target as possible. Because a lot of these shots, like you mentioned, have been a little bit off target, a little bit wide. And, well, I mean, it's good that they have opportunities, but none of them have really been as clear as you would want them to be.
The official is talking to Abby Golden about her player, and rule on that is Maldonado had to come out of the game as the trainer came out on the field. So they're figuring that out. It's a very thin bench right now, as we've covered for Rockford. So as Coach Golden gets that sorted out with the officials, it'll be a goal kick for Rockford whenever we do come back. Official checks with the trainer that Maldonado is clear. And this is not the first time we've seen a long deliberation from these officials to figure out substitutions. So these two teams catching their breath, getting a break. And it looks like we'll be underway now. As center official confirms with the line judge that we are good to go. That'll be sent upfield by the defense. Espinoza down the far side, sends it to the corner, looking for Eric Flores out the goal line. It'll be another goal kick.
You know, one thing that they still haven't they're still having kind of a bit of a problem is the through balls. A lot of them, like in past games, are a little bit just way too far, a little bit too strong, and they can't get to them.
Erica Flores takes that one away, and that late foul tagged on the Cougars. It'll be a clearance for Rockford. You look elsewhere in the NAC. This is the NAC opener. Concordia Chicago against Rockford. Dominican and MSOE get their NACtion underway in 10 minutes at 4 o'clock. That's right across Division Street down at Dominican University right here in River Forest, Illinois. The rest of the conference getting their first taste of NACtion tonight at 7 o'clock, as that's a through ball that gets all the way into Moreno. Down to the line, puts it on frame, or sends the cross right in front of the goal. Either way, Rose falls on it and picks up another save. So NACtion starting up today. Rockford and CUC, the first to see that NACtion. Espinoza on the sideline, cuts back. 13 minutes to go in the match as Erica Flores tries to work that upfield. She'll lay it back to her Bonchek, back up to Espinoza. And the Cougars struggling to get past about 25 yards out. And now Mia Hirayama, a lot of space, sends it to Mendoza, also a lot of space. Looking down the line, gets it to Fairless. Fairless turning it and plays it to the corner. Thought Martinez was there. Martinez attracted back to the help side. And that'll be an attempted clear for Rockford. Another attempted clear. It's headed down for Moreno. Moreno trying to play it to the line. Cuts back. She'll look central to Fairless. Fairless cuts back. Central. Rips a left footer. Saved by Rose.
You know, one player that I'd like to see come onto the pitch, and I don't know why she really hasn't had any minutes in this match, is Stacy Maskery. I think she's had some pretty good games in the past. I think she has a really good shot, which is something that you really would need in this game, considering that a lot of the shots have been a bit off target.
Erica Flores moving all the way across the field. She'll lay that to Mendoza. Mendoza working towards the corner. She'll lay it off to Martinez. Martinez crosses it in. It's off the shoulder and in.
Handball.
And they're going to tag that as a handball. Another tough call for the Cougars. And this stays a 1-0 game.
And there was a yellow card given to Fairless, possibly for complaining. I don't know if it was with her arm or if it was with her shoulder. It seemed to be a little bit more with her arm. But what she might be complaining about is that she got the ball in with her shoulder.
Yeah, there's a very fine line. It's really up to the official's interpretation. Where does the shoulder end and the arm begin? That's down into the corner. Natalie Flores turning it in. It's still loose. Another shot blocked and deflected down by Moreno. It's still up in the box. Back central. Fairless again. Can't turn it. It's still loose. A heck of a reactions from Lily Rose to snag that one out of the air. The Cougars just causing some chaos in the box.
I said it in the first half, and then I'll say it again. Izzy Fairless is a key player in that attack, and you see it right now. She has that instinct to look for the goal immediately as she receives the ball.
Mendoza plays that up to nobody. And it's out of bounds off of Martinez. 10 minutes to go in the match. Cougars still lead 1-0. As we get a pair of subs, one for each team. Albandano back into the game. Whiteside out of the game. Casares comes in to replace Izzy Fairless.
It's very interesting and weird sub considering the recent goal-scoring opportunity she had.
Casares puts that back to Alvarado. Alvarado trying to go across to Espinoza. And they'll let Urbanchek come over and take that one. Plenty of time to just shift the whole team with all that space. Erica Flores back to Urbanchek. She'll play it over to Casares. Casares turns upfield. Just cutting back and forth in the middle. Lays it over to Mendoza. Mendoza tries to play down line to Moreno. And that's out of bounds off of Moreno. That'll be a goal kick for Rockford. And the Regents just parking the bus and trying to keep the Cougars off the board. Goal kick deflected out of bounds by Mendoza. So it'll now be a throw for Rockford. 8.5 minutes to go in the game. I mean, you look at those stats on both ends for the Cougars, and we'll see probably some of those change within the last 8 minutes of this game on the Cougars' end. As Casares plays that towards Erica Flores. Erica Flores to Moreno. Crosses it to Flores. What a save by Lily Rose! As Rockford's able to clear that all the way out. Another opportunity for Flores. That one's off the post. Moreno tries to pass that back. It's cleared out of bounds off of McLaughlin.
I am speechless with those opportunities they had. Honestly, at this point, I would say that one of the player of the game is Lily Rose. That goalkeeper has had an amazing amount of saves.
A lot of chaos, a lot of shots faced. And I think we're going to get a change of possession on that throw, and the official maybe tagging a foul on the Cougars. And Lorenza Mendoza for placing herself at the wrong spot on the line. Cougars defense will take possession with 7 minutes to go. Yeah, 20 saves now on the day for Lily Rose, and some of these have been some tough saves as Natalie Flores works upfield. Cuts towards the line, cuts in, and it's out of bounds off of Flores. That'll be a goal kick. And there's some ludicrous numbers on the Cougars' end so far today. 46 shots, 22 shots on goal, 4 away from matching their season total of shots. And it's not like teams have been putting up these numbers against Rockford all year. Coming into this game, Rockford had 149 shots taken against them. The Cougars nearly bringing that close to 200. So the Cougars just pumping the volume in the attacking third. As Cazares moving upfield, she'll rip a long one. Rose knocks it down. It was off frame either way.
With the amount of saves that Rose has made, it really makes you wonder how this Rockford team even conceded 10 against Elmers, 7 against Luther, and 8 against Ripon. Like, it really, you start to question how this even happened, because I know that there's been a lot of goal-scoring opportunities, but like you said, the Cougars have had a lot more opportunities than every other team that Rockford has played this season.
I mean, it's a lot more opportunities. The Cougars, it's also just volume. You're not ripping long shots like the Cougars have had today. It's gotten to the point, or Julia Urbanchik ripping a 45-yarder just to test the keeper. Some teams won't do that depending on their style of play. Another angle of that, this has felt like a dominant win for the Cougars, but it's still just a 1-0 game. We have a free kick coming up from 30 yards out, so we'll get back on that topic in just a minute. Cazares coming over with Martinez, 3-man wall. Everyone else getting ready to crash. Cazares crosses that in. It's headed up in the air. And the Cougars tagged with the offside. And yeah, it's been dominant play from the Cougars. It's still a 1-0 game. And dominant wins of this degree should not be 1-0 games. There's an element of this where the Cougars have not played as well as they should be. They've had a lot of missed opportunities, a lot of one-on-one shots with the keeper, a lot of great opportunities to take open shots, and they haven't been able to convert on nearly all of those. So part of that comes down to these other teams putting up more goals on Rockford because of finishing. Elmhurst, the Cougars saw them earlier. They've got some great forwards, and that finishing ability is there. The Cougars' offense, they got opportunities today, but their ability to finish still isn't really appearing. It's still a struggle for this offense. As there's another long ball taken towards the goal. Rose will stop it and pick it up. And it is a great win for the Cougars. You're on track to pick up the first win of the year, but you can't take away from the fact that if the Cougars want to be competitive in the conference this year, they've still got some distance to figure out the offense.
Yeah, and this seems to be like it's going to be an inevitable win unless something weird happens in the last few minutes.
As there's a long ball, Cougars tagged offsides.
Because there doesn't seem to be any response from Rockford, and not that there really can be any response with the amount of players that they have available in the bench. Like, they really can't make too many changes to this team to really get an opportunity.
And both of these teams almost feeling like they're just coasting to the end of this game through the last 3 minutes as that one's boomed away. Touchdown by Cazares. Now Erica Flores rips a long one. That's another field goal. Scrapes the goalpost. Here comes another goal kick.
I wonder who'd score more field goals, our football team or this team?
A lot of shots over. That's honestly the biggest trend I've noticed with these shots is a lot of them are high. The The Cougars getting under the ball too much. They're not staying on top of the ball. They're not staying in front of the ball and just lifting it over the goal as he's batted back and forth. Martinez stepping on it, rips a left footer. Easy save for Lily Rose. We're on 50 shot watch for this squad. That's shot number 49 with 2 minutes to go.
I'd really like to see just one more goal. I feel that a 2-0 would just be really, really fair. Like, well, it wouldn't be fair for how many shots we've had, but just at this point, I feel like it's necessary.
Natalie Flores taking it towards the corner, cutting into the box. Cougars have numbers. Down the baseline. It's out of bounds. And it'll be a corner kick. The Rockford defense tracking all the way back. They didn't have to go. I mean, you almost wanted on the stat sheet to make it look a bit better. 50 shots is absurd. That's a great game. As it stands, 49 shots, it's 9 more than the next high for any game on any NAC team this year. As there's a corner in, headed out. Urbanchek gets it down. Alvarado, high and wide again. So this is by far going to be the most shots taken in a game by any of these NAC teams so far this year. So, that is shot number 50. 50 shots is absurd. 50 shots and only getting 1 goal off of that is even more absurd. As the Cougars still trying to fight towards the net, and that's cleared out by Sanchez again. Hirayama heads it forwards. Moreno trying to turn on it. That's still loose in the middle of the field. 30 seconds to go. Cougars still pushing. Casares keeps that in play. Mendoza now towards the corner. Mendoza trying to turn it. And that is going to go out of bounds for a goal kick.
Yeah, that was possibly the last opportunity that they were going to have. 50 shots and 1 goal. I think that's unheard of. I've never seen a match in which that's been the case. I've seen matches in which there's been a lot of shots, but not anywhere near the amount that this game has had.
You look at the next highest shot total for a team in the NAC this year. It's Wisconsin Lutheran versus Maranatha Baptist. 40 shots taken by Wisconsin Lutheran. 51 taken today. 50, actually, taken today by the Cougars to make it a 1-0 win. Concordia Chicago picks up their first win of the season and their first win of NACtion. It's a 1-0 win for the Concordia Chicago Cougars over the Rockford University Regents. It might be weird, but the job's done either way, and it goes in the record book the same either way. 1 in the win column for CUC. They clear that hurdle, and they have their first win of the year and start their NAC season 1-0.
Yeah, you can look at whatever it is that you're going to fix in the week and the practices that are coming up. But for today, I think that the important thing is to just enjoy this first win, regardless of how it happened, regardless of how many shots were taken out, how many goals were scored. A win is a win, and I think that they should be proud of themselves and just enjoy it while they have right now.
And just to give you a bit more perspective on the absurdity of a 50-shot game with only 1 goal. The highest most shots taken in a game by a NAC team this year, 40 shots taken by Wisconsin Lutheran against Maranatha Baptist. Wisconsin Lutheran won that game 12-0, and that's about a normal ratio you'd see for a game with a lot of shots like that. The Cougars letting it rip today, and they matched their season total through 7 games that was at 50 shots. They double it here today and now have 100 shots on the season. The Cougars, a lot of offensive possession and a dominant 1-0 win over Rockford. That 1 goal scored by Erica Flores in the 17th minute on a cross in, and the assist from Alexa Martinez. And the Cougars keepers not seeing really any action besides a couple goal kicks today. Over on Rockford's end, Lily Rose, an incredible game from the keeper. 22 saves, 24 shots on goal faced, 50 shots faced, the ball in the defensive third almost the entire game. An 0.45 save percentage in a game where you face 50 shots is pretty great, even if it does end up in a 1-0 loss for Rockford. And that'll do it in the action today for Concordia University Chicago. The Cougars pick up a 1-0 win over Rockford to open NAC play. The Cougars will move forwards from here to take on MSOE again at River Forest in their next game of the NAC season this upcoming Sunday at 1 p.m. in a men's and women's soccer doubleheader that day. Both the Cougars men's and women's teams taking on MSOE this upcoming Sunday. Rockford moves forward from here. They see their next NAC action a week from today as they take on another River Forest team, the Dominican University Stars, but they'll be at home in Rockford for that one. Elsewhere in the NAC play has gotten started. Dominican and MSOE getting started just a few minutes ago. That'll do it in the action here at River Forest. Don't go away yet on the Cougar Sports Network. We'll have a post-game interview with your victorious Cougars coming up in just a moment. Hello, Cougar Nation, and welcome back on the Cougar Sports Network. We're here after the Cougars pick up their first win of the women's soccer season, a 1-0 win over the Rockford University Regents. I'm Jonathan Shear with the Cougar Sports Network, and I'm here with head coach of that team, Eddie Garza, and one of your victorious players, Presley Alvarado. Guys, just to lead off with, congratulations on your first win of the season, and more importantly, first win of conference play, starting up in action 1-0 as you get into that conference season. And looking at that game today, dominant win on the field from your squad. Lots of offensive opportunities, lots of volume put up on the board, lots of shots put up. Does this style of offense look more like what you guys want your offense to play like throughout the season? And kind of just like, how does that compare to that?
I feel like compared to last year, we never gave up a fight, and we have more as a rhythm as a girls, and we're all together united. And we all have one mission this season, to never give up. And since the NCAA has started up again, I know that us and the girls are always going to put up a fight no matter how down we are.
I agree with, I echo a lot that you said. This is what we want to see more of. This is more of what we've been training. So it's good to see that we're implementing the things that we're working on at practice. I would also say dictating the tempo and getting an influx of opportunities. When I looked at the stats, at some point we had about 40 shots. So, that's something, those are the things you want to see where the other team doesn't really have a chance. And, unfortunately we get more opportunities, but again, going into conference, that's what the momentum we need moving forward.
Absolutely. And you mentioned there lots of opportunities on offense, not giving the other teams opportunities as well. And for the dominant win, lots of shots taken. It was a bit of an interesting game and a weird kind of style of game. Your defense and keepers not really seeing any action on the defensive half of the field. Everything's pushed up, and despite a lot of shots, it fell into a little bit of a monotonous game throughout that. How do you kind of just stay mentally focused on the game, keep pushing an offensive pressure, and keep staying dominant through a game like that?
Yeah, I mean, in any sport, you want consistency. So regardless of what's happening with the end product, you want to continue to implement the things that you're working on, pushing for those. Again, continuing to apply those things so that you hope that there is some breakdowns. Unfortunately, we had some offside goals, handball goals, but again, as a coach, I'm happy with what we're putting out, and for us to move on to the next one. 1-0, we got the 3 points, and that's all that matters in action right now.
Yeah.
Running off that, as Coach Eddie said, that we are consistent and then we are pushing as a drive. All of us girls have a drive this season, and we can see it at the second half and the first half that we never gave up. Even if the goals were going all over the place, we never gave up and we had a drive.
And you mentioned there, knack play, action. You started up against Rockford today, and first win of the season, first win of conference play. You're 1-0 in conference, the first team in NAC to pick up a win, starting action today. And this is when the games really start to matter. So how important is it not just to get that first win off of the board today, but also to start conference play 1-0?
I think it gives all of us girls a confidence, starting off the season good and always having the drive and the push and to keep going, No matter how hard the team is, no matter how simple the team is, we still have a drive, we still have the effort.
Yeah, and to build off of that, regardless of the opponent, you want to start 1-0. And then you can start focusing on the next one, right? In any sport, it's what's up next. So now, Rockford's out of the way. Regardless, we take the positive takeaways, we fine-tune the things that we need to improve on, and then we get ready for MSOE.
Absolutely, and like we talked about, 1-0 win for the Cougars over Rockford University today. And like you mentioned, Coach, moving on to a game this upcoming Sunday against MSOE right here in River Forest at 1 o'clock. You'll be able to catch that right here on the Cougar Sports Network. Elsewhere in Cougar Sports will be back in action tomorrow night. Cougar Volleyball staying at home to take on Lake Forest. But once again, thank you for joining us for today's match between the Cougars and the Regents. Coach Garza, Presley, thank you for coming on after the game. And again, congratulations on a big first win of conference play. And thank you for tuning in on the Cougar Sports Network. As always, roll Cougs.
So much for tuning in to today's Concordia University Chicago Cougars Athletics broadcast. We hope to see you on campus very soon. If you would like to learn more about what Concordia Chicago has to offer, go to cuchicago.edu.